You bought that green onion from the store, snipped off what you needed for dinner, and tossed the root end in the trash. What if I told you that little root end could have kept feeding you for months, for free? Right now, in kitchens all over the world, people are throwing away the most valuable part of their vegetables without even realizing it. Today we are going to take the exact scraps sitting in your kitchen right now and turn them into a garden that never stops giving. Stick around, because by the end of this video you will never look at a vegetable peel the same way again. Hey everyone, welcome back to Earthly Gardening, the channel where growing your own food never has to cost you a fortune. If you are new here, I am so glad you found us. This is a place built for regular folks who want fresh vegetables without the fancy equipment or the huge grocery bill, just simple tricks that actually work. And to everyone who keeps coming back week after week, thank you, you are the reason this channel keeps growing, pun fully intended. Before we dive in, if you are someone who loves stretching every dollar in the garden, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need these tips. And if you have ever regrown something from your kitchen scraps before, drop a comment and tell me what it was. I read every single one. Alright, let's get into it. Why regrowing works better than you think. Here's something most people never stop to consider. A vegetable is not just food, it is a living thing that was cut down in the middle of its life. That root end, that stem, that leafy top you throw away still has cells inside it that are ready to grow again. You are not doing anything magical here, you are simply giving a plant a second chance at life. And the wild part is, most of what you need to start this is already sitting in your fridge or your trash can right now. Think about how many pounds of scraps the average household throws out every single week without ever considering that some of it was never actually finished growing in the first place. Nature built these plants to survive being cut, grazed on, and damaged. That is literally part of their design, so when you give them water and a little patience, you are simply working with a system that has been running successfully for millions of years. Green onions, the easiest place to start. Let's begin with the vegetable almost everyone has tried once and probably gave up on too soon. Green onions are famous for regrowing, but here is what most people get wrong. They drop the white root end into a cup of water, forget about it for 2 weeks, and wonder why it turned slimy and useless. The trick is changing that water every single day, not once a week, every day. Treat it like a living creature that needs fresh air, not a decoration sitting on your windowsill. Within about 5 to 7 days you will notice new green shoots pushing up from the center, and once those roots look strong and white, that is your cue to move it into soil for a plant that keeps producing for months instead of days. Once it is settled into soil outdoors or in a sunny pot indoors, you can keep snipping the green tops for cooking and it will simply keep sending up more, almost like a subscription service that never charges you again. Celery, the one that surprises everyone. Celery gets a bad reputation for being difficult, but the truth is people simply give up too early. Cut off the base, about 2 inches from the bottom, and set it in a shallow dish with just enough water to cover the bottom, not the whole thing. Place it somewhere with good light and within a week you will start seeing tiny yellow leaves forming right in the center. This is the part where most people panic and think it failed. It has not failed, it is just getting started. Once those leaves turn green and the roots underneath thicken up, transfer the whole thing into soil, and what was once a kitchen scrap becomes a plant that keeps growing new stalks for you to harvest again and again. Give it a few months in the ground with consistent moisture and you will end up with a stalk that looks nothing like the pale one you bought at the store, often fuller and more fragrant since it was never shipped across the country before reaching your kitchen. Romaine lettuce and the mistake that ruins it. Romaine is one of the most satisfying vegetables to regrow because you can actually watch it happen in real time. Save the base, place it in a shallow bowl with just enough water to cover the bottom, and set it on a bright windowsill. Within just a few days, fresh green leaves begin pushing up from the center, almost like watching a time-lapse video unfold in your own kitchen. It's a fun project for kids and adults alike, and it's a great reminder that what most people throw away still has plenty of life left in it. But here is the mistake that ruins this project for so many people: they leave the lettuce sitting in the same stagnant water until the base turns brown, slimy, and mushy. Change the water every 2 days to keep it fresh and reduce the chance of rot. Once you notice healthy new leaves and the first signs of roots forming, transplant it into a small pot of rich soil. The soil provides the nutrients the plant can no longer get from plain water, allowing it to stay productive for much longer. Just keep your expectations realistic. The second harvest won't grow into another full supermarket-sized head because the original base only has a limited amount of stored energy. Instead, you'll get a smaller flush of crisp, tender leaves that are perfect for topping sandwiches, garnishing wraps, or adding to a fresh salad. It may not replace an entire head of romaine, but it's still a satisfying way to reduce waste and enjoy a little extra food from something you were about to throw away. Garlic, the vegetable hiding in plain sight. Most people don't even think of garlic as something you regrow, but if you have ever left a bulb sitting too long and noticed a green sprout pushing through a clove, congratulations, that garlic already started the job for you. Plant that sprouted clove pointed side up in soil, and it will grow into a full garlic plant. The part nobody tells you is that you can actually harvest the green shoots along the way for a mild garlic flavor in your cooking, long before the bulb itself is ready. It is basically 2 harvests from one clove that most people were about to throw in the bin. Leave the rest of the plant alone through the season and you will eventually pull up a whole new bulb, meaning that one sprouted clove you almost tossed can multiply into an entire head of garlic months later. Ginger, the slow burn that pays off. Ginger takes patience, and I want to be honest with you about that right from the start because too many videos promise instant results and set people up for disappointment. Take a piece of ginger root with a visible eye or bud, bury it just under the surface of moist, well-draining soil, and place it somewhere warm where it will stay consistently cozy. Keep the soil lightly moist but never waterlogged, because soggy soil can cause the ginger to rot before it even gets started. Then comes the hardest part, waiting. This one takes weeks, not days, before you see any real action above the surface, so don't assume it has failed just because nothing seems to be happening. But once those first green shoots finally break through, you have started something that will keep multiplying underground, producing new rhizomes as the plant matures. Ginger is a long-season crop, so the longer you let it grow, the larger your harvest is likely to be. Come harvest time, you don't have to dig up the entire plant. You can gently uncover the edge of the clump, snap off a section of the mature rhizome for tonight's recipe, and cover the rest back up so it keeps growing. That means one healthy ginger plant can keep supplying your kitchen for months while saving you repeated trips to the grocery store. A quick word before we keep going. If this is helping you see your kitchen scraps in a whole new light, do me a quick favor and tap that like button. It tells this channel that this kind of content is actually useful, which means more of it gets made. And if you have a vegetable you are curious about regrowing but are not sure it will work, drop it in the comments below. I genuinely read through them and some of my best video ideas come straight from what you all ask. Potatoes, the one everyone already knows but does wrong. Almost everyone has seen a forgotten potato in the pantry sprout little eyes on its own. That is nature basically begging you to plant it. Cut the potato into chunks, making sure each piece has at least 1 or 2 eyes. Let the cut sides dry out for a day so they don't rot in the ground, then bury them about 4 inches deep in loose soil. The mistake most beginners make is planting the chunks too fresh or too deep, which leads to rot before anything even has a chance to grow. Give it a little time to callus over first, and you set yourself up for an actual harvest instead of a mushy disappointment. As the plant grows taller, mound extra soil around the base every few weeks, since this simple habit encourages even more potatoes to form underground than if you just left the plant alone. Sweet potatoes and the vine you didn't expect. This one tends to shock people the most because sweet potatoes don't just regrow, they explode into a gorgeous trailing vine that looks like something you would pay good money for at a nursery. Suspend a sweet potato halfway in a jar of water using toothpicks to hold it in place, root end down, and within a couple weeks you will have sprouts called slips growing from the top. Once those slips grow a few inches, twist them off and root them separately in water before planting outside. What started as one grocery store sweet potato can turn into an entire vine covering a trellis in your backyard, and if your climate allows a long enough growing season, that same vine can produce a whole new batch of sweet potatoes underground by the time autumn rolls around. Avocado, the one everyone tries and few succeed at. I have to be straight with you about avocados because the internet has oversold this one a bit. Yes, you can absolutely sprout an avocado pit using the toothpick method in water, and yes, it is fun to watch. But growing an actual fruit-bearing avocado tree from that pit can take years, sometimes even a decade, and it usually needs a very specific climate. So enjoy this one as a fun houseplant project and a genuine lesson in patience, but keep your expectations grounded so you don't feel let down later. Even without fruit, the tree itself grows into a striking glossy-leafed houseplant, so the project still pays off even if avocados on your kitchen counter never actually happen. Peppers, the seeds you're already throwing away. Here is a regrow trick that barely anyone talks about. Next time you cut open a bell pepper or a hot pepper, don't toss those seeds in the trash. Let them dry out on a paper towel for a couple days, then plant them shallow in soil, keeping it warm and slightly moist. Peppers from grocery store seeds sprout more often than people expect, and within a couple months you could have a pepper plant that came entirely from something you would have thrown away without a second thought. Just keep in mind that peppers bought from a store are sometimes hybrids, so the fruit you eventually grow might taste slightly different from the original, though most people find that a fun surprise rather than a letdown. The biggest mistake that ruins every regrowing project. Across every single vegetable we have talked about today, there is one mistake that shows up again and again, and it has nothing to do with the vegetable itself. It is impatience. People check on their scraps for 2 or 3 days, see nothing dramatic happening, and give up, tossing something that was about to sprout the very next day. Regrowing vegetables is not instant gratification, it is a small quiet process that rewards people who simply leave things alone and let nature do what it already knows how to do. A close second mistake is forgetting about water changes entirely, letting scraps sit in the same cloudy jar for a week straight, which invites bacteria and rot far faster than most people expect. Fresh water and a little bit of trust go further than any fancy setup ever could. Why this matters beyond saving money. Sure, regrowing vegetables saves you trips to the store and stretches your grocery budget further, but there is something deeper happening here too. Every scrap you regrow instead of throwing away is one less thing going into a landfill, and one more small step toward understanding where your food actually comes from. In a world where most people have never seen a vegetable before it landed on a store shelf, this simple kitchen experiment reconnects you to something real, something that has been feeding people for thousands of years before grocery stores ever existed. It also quietly teaches patience and observation, 2 skills that spill over into every other part of gardening once you start paying closer attention to how living things actually grow. Your next step. So here is what I want you to do. Look through your fridge right now, today, and find one vegetable from this list that you were about to throw away. Just one. Set it in water or soil using what we covered, and give it a real chance before judging whether it works. You might be surprised at what your kitchen scraps are actually capable of, and once one experiment succeeds, it becomes almost addictive to try the next one on this list. If this video opened your eyes to something you never noticed before, subscribe to Earthly Gardening so you don't miss the next one. We drop new budget-friendly growing tips regularly. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned something today, and tell me down in the comments which vegetable from this list you are trying first. I read every comment and I cannot wait to see what you grow. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.